Most business owners think onboarding ends when the new hire signs their paperwork. I'll tell you this: if your onboarding stops with a W 4 and a 30-minute software tour, you're not just leaving people confused, you're losing piles of money. I've seen companies invest thousands in recruiting the perfect candidate. They've spent time marketing the ad, doing hundreds of resume screens, dozens of interviews, quite a few finals and mains, only to watch that same employee quietly drift away within their first 90 days. Not because the employee wasn't capable, but because the company didn't give them a clear runway to succeed. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through how to structure onboarding so that it actually works. Onboarding that boosts that retention, improves productivity, and can scale with your team. Not a list of nice to haves, but the actual building blocks of a repeatable, process driven, automated system. I'm Rhamy Alejeal, CEO of People Processes. We do HR for hundreds of organizations across the United States, and it's my pleasure to bring you Don't HR Alone, where we discuss some of these deep needs, deep processes that have to be focused on in order to grow and scale your people operations. If you're serious about hiring better people and keeping them long term, you cannot afford to wing it on day one. So let's zoom out for just a second. Why does onboarding matter so much? Because poor onboarding is expensive, or bad management in general is expensive, and onboarding is one of the easiest places to systematize and create something that works. Bad onboarding leads to new hires who are confused, disengaged, or overwhelmed. Managers waste time repeating the same instruction, compliance documents get skipped or misfiled, and worst of all, your new team member kind of starts to wonder if they made a mistake joining your company. The data is clear. Most voluntary turnover happens in the first 90 days, and most of it is preventable. Great onboarding changes that. It sets expectations, it builds culture and behaviors, it gets people productive faster, and it frees up your leadership to lead instead of babysitting paperwork. At People Processes, we don't see onboarding as like a one off event. We see it as a core part of your people strategy, something that should be structured, automated, improved over time, and scalable. So let's break it down. There are 5 core elements to an effective onboarding process. Miss any one of them, and you're going to create some pretty serious friction. Get them right, and you're going to build momentum. Element 1 is your welcome and culture introduction. Shockingly, I don't see this in most groups. This is where onboarding should start, not with paperwork, but with connection. That means a welcome message from leadership at the top of the company, at the department level, at their team level. A short video or a letter that explains your company's purpose, your values, and why this new hire matters. A simple company overview: what you do, who your clients are, how you've gotten here, how you've grown. Assign a buddy or schedule a few short intros with team leads. Day one could include some small, thoughtful gestures, maybe a swag bag, a welcome lunch, a personal note from the CEO. It's not fluff, it's building the connection so that your employees are proud to work there. From a pure dollars and cents perspective, they're probably never going to be more excited than their first day. And that's their most likely time to talk about you, to post, to help you find new candidates, even. So it's really worth making an introduction. These companies in Silicon Valley that have billions of dollars to spend, there's a reason they spend 1,000 or two on the onboarding. They're not stupid. It makes a big difference in your retention and in your ability to uh, pull someone in so that they perform at a top level. After culture and engagement, next up, paperwork and compliance. It's the technical stuff. It doesn't have to be painful. You need to collect all your legal forms: your I-9s, your W-4s, your state tax forms, your direct deposit information, emergency contacts. You need to have the employee handbook sign off, your policy acknowledgement, and if you offer benefits, timely, informed enrollment so that they can appreciate and understand them. But all that being said, here's the key: automate it. Every one of these steps should live in your HRIS. Of course, our clients, we provide all that and build it all out, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can do it, but do it online. Make sure it's mobile first. They can do it on their phone. Their new hire should log in the day before they start, before day one. They can complete everything through e-signatures and get an email confirmation. No PDFs, download, sign, email back. No email chains, phone calls they got to do. No chasing people for wet signatures in their third week of working for you. Do it before they start. You can't require it before they start, compliance note, but if you make it accessible to them, you're going to wind up completing most of this long before they come on. Element 3, job specific training. This is where most onboarding falls apart. If your new hire doesn't know what success looks like in their role, you've already failed them. Give them a clear job overview. Assign a manager led walkthrough or a pre recorded video. Provide access to the tools they'll use and give them training materials that actually explain how to use them. Introduce them to the competencies that they're expected to build so they have a forward looking path. And by day 3, they should have a short list of real meaningful tasks they can complete. Not busy work, value generating actual work that'll help them build momentum. Think hard about that job specific path so that you can go from enthusiastic new hire to useful, productive team member as quickly as possible, even if it's only of a small domain of competence. That's okay. Get them there quick and then build the rest of the competencies out. Part 4 is performance and goal setting. You want to set the bar early. Schedule a one-on-one with their manager to outline their OKRs, objectives and key results, or their KPIs, and lay them out for their first 30, 60, and 90 days. And introduce your progress tracking system, whatever that is, whether that's some fully automated point of sale that tracks their sales or whatever, or in our case, it's our PPP model, plans, progress, and problems, a weekly meeting with their manager that keeps everyone aligned and accountable. It's a great way of managing these things. This is where you're going to define your feedback cadence and you're going to let them know how often they're going to meet with their manager, how performance is evaluated, and how to ask for help. I personally love the 1-3-1, which we introduce our people to in their orientation. We say, look, you're going to go through training, you're going to have lots of questions, ask them. But once you're in production, you need to provide, when you ask for help, a 1-3-1. A definition of the problem, 3 things that you think might be the answer, and what you will do if I don't weigh in. Your 1-3-1. Introduce them to these concepts, however you do your evaluations, however you do your check-ins, and however you expect them to escalate problems. The 1-3-1's a key part of our business. It allows the employees to learn and grow internally before they ask for help. And when the manager has to actually help them, it gives them an idea of where they're at in terms of their ability to understand and competency around the piece, and also makes it very quick. Most of the time you go, yeah, that's right, go for it, right? But if they go, I need help with X, you have to go investigate the whole problem and then come up with a solution, whereas the 1-3-1's a quick thing. Sorry for the aside. Anyway, introduce them to these concepts that are key parts of culture. Culture is behavior, right? And performance is adherence to that behavior. So you want to introduce them what they're going to be judged on, how often, the cadence, and how to do those things. And especially that escalation track right there at the beginning. It's going to help them. The 5th part is where you can, again, if you have nothing in this, it's so easy. Most companies do a welcome, a handbook, and then nothing until their 90-day performance review or something, if that. That's a huge mistake. You need structured check-ins at least day 30, 60, and 90, preferably with someone outside of their direct chain of management, okay? Their management check-in, especially in their first 90 days, should be more common than that. But you need some sort of evaluation opportunity that allows them to get mentorship, opportunities to fix what's unclear, to reinforce goals, to ask what support is missing that the company can provide. This is where that mentorship or peer learning can make a huge difference. If your team has like experienced staff, pair them with a new hire and pre-schedule these. Let the new employee ask questions, see real workflows, and feel part of the team, not just a name on the org chart. If you're doing this well, onboarding doesn't end after that first set of checklists, that first hour and a half or 4 hours of their day. It doesn't even end after 90 days. It evolves into employee development and long-term relationships inside the organization. So, given those 5 things, let me walk you through some of the most common onboarding mistakes that I see and kind of how to fix them fast. Okay. 1, no documented process. If onboarding lives in your manager's head, it's not a process, it's a liability. You got to write it down, you got to make a checklist, you got to assign responsibilities and make it repeatable. Repeatable processes are the key to improvement over time. Doesn't matter if you have one expert who can do this perfectly well, you've got to turn it into a process so that it's your company's value and something that you can improve over time. Mistake two, it's 2025. We got to stop collecting paperwork on paper. Stop handing people packets on their first day. Use e-signatures, use workflows, use the HR tech the way it's meant to be used. If you don't know how to do this, we handle this all the time. Lord, just get the software set up. I know it is a large investment up front, but you need to do it. Automation lowers the amount of time spent doing the thing and frees up time to improve the thing and gives you much better data about how things are going and allows you to perform permanent tweaks. You got to get off the paper. 3, no performance expectations. New hires don't know how they'll be measured, will default to playing it safe, or worse, completely disengaging. Set your objectives, set your KPIs immediately. Should be a core part of their orientation and onboarding. Mistake 4, no follow-up after the first week. If you're not checking in regularly and you're assuming everything is fine, that's expensive. That's assumptions, and it's a bad idea. So make sure that you have that follow-up after their first week. And 5, culture is treated like fluff. It's not. It's the glue that holds your team and retention together. Build culture into the onboarding experience from day one, and you'll set the behaviors from the perspective of the leaders of the organization immediately. And it's going to wind up clearing up so many things and make it so obvious that you have a good fit or a bad one. Okay? Great onboarding isn't about perfection. It's about clarity, consistency, care, and improvement over time. You don't need a fancy portal or a 40-step process, but over time, you'll likely develop one. What you need to start with is structure. You need a system. You need to stop reinventing the wheel every time someone joins your team or leaving it up to the whims of the manager on how they feel that day, whether they're super busy, whether they have time to train. You got to turn this into something that consistently works. So here's your next step. We've created a free onboarding audit checklist that walks through everything I just described step by step. It's designed to help you spot gaps, fix issues, and build a better process right now. You can download it at the link in the description. It's right down below. And if you're a US business with 10 or more employees and you're one of the leaders in that organization, whether the owner or an executive, and you're ready to upgrade your onboarding from chaos to clarity, book a free 30-minute consultation with me. No pitch, just real strategy tailored to your business. We can go through what you're doing now and talk about some great ideas. Let's build an onboarding system that actually works for your people, your managers, and your bottom line. You deserve more than a good hire who leaves in 90 days because you didn't invest into the system. Thanks for listening, and as always, don't HR alone. I would love to hear from you. Get out there, have a great day, and get your work done. Yeah. See you later.